So once again, I must apologize of how many times I need to take a break. But why don't we get this show on the road again? Well, hello there, it's me, Suited in Black, aka Janne Karneus, and I'm so sorry at how inactive I am with this channel. I'm just like the reason why I haven't made any videos recently is because one, I'm feeling kind of sick, but also I'm just so busy with work and just with my, my big book projects that I just haven't had that much energy to read or do any videos. But I'll try my best to make a new video a bit more consistently. But anyway, let's start doing another book review, or kind of more like just like a thoughts on this book. So I'm pretty sure if you've watched my previous videos that I finished Breach of Peace by Daniel Greene. And so this video, as you can probably tell from the title, is that this is going to be the review of his sequel, Rebels Creed, which I finished just like a week ago. And yeah, let's just get straight down to what I thought the book was like and whether I liked it or not. So just before we dive into the review of Rebels Creed, I did kind of just write some little sort of like a recap of what I thought of Breach of Peace was like. And here I just wrote that, like, as I said before, it was just like just an average book for me. It kind of lacked quite a bit of immersion and detail, which just made me feel like I couldn't quite sink my feet into this world and the characters. And that I feel like the premise was quite interesting, but it was not fully developed, so I just didn't care that much about it in the end. And then we go on to Rebels Creed. So I finished this book. It took me quite a while to actually finish Rebels Creed because, like I said, I was just really lazy and I just had no energy to read. But finally, I finished it, and like, I'm gonna say straight away, it's such an improvement over Breach of Peace. It's like, you can tell how much, like, I think Daniel's slightly better and more skillful at a full-length novel, and I think he should have done this from the first place. If I know, like, maybe it was a better idea to have the novella as a starting point, as to kind of dip the toes into his world and kind of test his audience a bit. It's a clever idea, but for me, maybe I would just been more satisfied if I just read the novel first, or if the novella was part of the novel already, but it was just like sold separately as a novella and then released like in one big bundle together as Rebels Creed or as both, which I know he's already doing now though. So this book is a definite improvement over the Breach of Peace, but it doesn't quite make it to my favorites of the year, nor does it make it to the honorable mention. So why don't we start to talk about some specific things I have in mind for this book. So it is a big improvement over Breach of Peace, but I did still find that there's quite a few clunky elements in this book. Like in Breach of Peace, I feel like maybe it's some character stuff and maybe some kind of pacing, kind of an execution that just feels like kind of still a little bit amateur, and just feels like it's just kind of, this thing happens and then we're just going straight to this. And it does feel just slightly just rough around the edges, let's say. And that it's a bit like, it doesn't flow as much as it should, but it's just a small thing, so don't take that as a massive criticism. However, on the flip side, I would like to say that I think that the plot is a lot better and much more interesting because it's a novel. Like, he's got so much more time to really explore what the characters are doing, what's happening to the characters, what they need to solve. And I think, yeah, like, he can definitely manage it and it's so much more interesting. He's clearly more passionate about the longer form of the novel, and I think that's really good. I like it. I also found that the kind of big formatting, like in Breach of Peace, just made it kind of easier to read, which I guess is a plus, but everyone's different. So I did feel like with a certain character, she does appear like she is the main character of Breach of Peace. It's not much of a spoiler because she appears at the very beginning of this book, but I feel like there's a kind of a twist with this character, if you know who this character is, towards the end of Rebels Creed, which I kind of was a bit unsure how to feel about. It just was a bit, I mean, it kind of works, but I feel like maybe it should have been just a bit more developed in that regard. I think overall there's a decent pace. I didn't find myself, trudging along. Even though I did kind of say the ending kind of made me trudge along a little bit in one of my Discord reactions to this book. And I did find myself just kind of getting to the climax with not much issue. However, I did kind of skip the epilogue in the end because I just kind of got tired of it a little bit, but also because, like I said, I was just really lazy and I just was not in the mood to read. So overall, I think this is actually, like I say, it's such an improvement over Breach of Peace, and that it's I'm definitely gonna pick up the next book by Daniel Greene. I think it's called Neon Ghost, and yeah, I'm not sure if I'll pick up the next. I think it's called Lawful Times. That's the name of the series he's working on. It's a solid improvement, and I would definitely allow people who, I guess, are interested in self-published books to give this a chance and maybe just see what Daniel Greene is like as a writer. However, I did kind of feel like it's not quite my favourite book, and it does kind of affect the overall grade I'm going to give it. So in terms of the Suited Black rating I'm going to give it, it's just going to be a Suited Average Plus. Like, I like it, and it does veer on the good side, but it's not just quite my favourite book. I just kind of found myself just kind of forgetting a few things about it, and I didn't find the main character the most interesting, despite that he has a kind of a compelling kind of beginning. I did find him just slightly juvenile at times, which was a kind of hit or miss, really. But that's pretty much it. And that'll do for this video on Rebels Creed. So it's a very short video, I apologize. I wanted it to be nice and long. But right now, I'm just in a bit of a slump, and I'm not sure what to talk about. Aside from if you want me to talk about my Calvi book project. So I might make a new video about Calvi, and I might talk about just the ideas I want to put into it, and that just maybe show off the rough sketches I've done for quite a few pages, and there's some of the newer drawings. But yeah, that's pretty much it. So thank you so much for watching, and I'll try to upload the next video in no time. So until we meet again, I'll be waiting.